Hi, this is Richard from Fitness for Freedom. Today we're going to take a look at a couple of different techniques that you can use to improve the difficulty of your calisthenic exercises. So the first technique we're going to look at is called rest pause. So as the name implies, pretty straightforward. We'll take the forward lunge as an example. So let's say I'm doing my forward lunge exercise and I've done many reps and I'm getting pretty tired. So let's say on the last rep I kind of can't do it properly, I kind of collapse. What a rest pause is you're just going to rest for about 10 seconds just to try to push out one or two more reps. So after 10 seconds rest, you'll be able to kind of grind out one or two more reps. The next technique we're going to look at is the 1 1/4 reps. So we're going to use the bow and arrow as an example here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a full rep as I normally would, but now I'm just going to release a couple of inches and go again doing a 1/4 rep. So 1 rep and 1/4. This is a great technique to allow you to use very specific muscles. So when I start a row, usually I'm using my forearms, my arms, and my lats, but only in that last little range of motion am I using mid-trap and rhomboids. So I want to emphasize it, so I'm going to do the 1/4 rep at the end here. The next technique we're going to look at is static holds. So static holds is you pause during your usual motion at a certain level. So we're going to try two different versions here on the one leg squat. So if I were to do a normal one leg squat and I wanted to add a little bit of a challenge, I might head down but then pause for a couple of seconds, continue downwards and back up. Always best to do it on the lowering or eccentric phase of the exercise. And we're just going to add a pause of minimum 2 seconds, but up to 5 to 10 seconds. So in this particular exercise, I'm emphasizing the quad by pausing in this range of motion. However, nothing stops me from doing a slightly different version where I pause just shy of the seat and then relax and come back up. So the lower I go, the more I'm going to emphasize glute hamstring versus quad. The next technique we're going to look at is called partial reps. So let's say I'm not ready to do a full one leg squat on a chair just yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and use as much range of motion as I'm capable of doing. So I'm going to go down, and as soon as I feel like that's pretty much as far as I'm going to go, I'm going to come back up. So this is a great way to build up towards a more challenging exercise. Just limit yourself to what you can do and try to build your range of motion as you go. So down as slow as you can and come back up. The next technique that we're going to look at is the elevator rep. So the elevator rep is a really useful technique to render otherwise easy exercise into something very challenging. So I'm going to use the squat as an example. So 2-leg squat, lots of people can kind of push out all kinds of reps and do lots of them. But by doing the elevator style squat, it's going to be a lot harder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down and I'm going to touch lightly and I'm going to come up only about 1/4 of the way. Then I'm going to go back down, touch lightly, go up about halfway, down, touch 3/4 of the way, down, touch all the way up. That would be 1 rep. So I would continue again, down 1/4, down half, down 3/4, and down all the way up. And if that's not challenging enough, you can go even slower. The next technique we're going to look at is oscillating reps. So oscillating reps looks a lot like static holds, except we're not actually holding at a certain range. We're going to do oscillating movements at a certain range. So let's say I'm doing this Bulgarian split squat. I'm going to do 3 to about 5 little tiny reps at each rep at a certain range of motion. So here at the lower range, but I could also easily do it kind of halfway, kind of just do a little bit of oscillating reps about halfway up. So same kind of idea as a static hold, you're emphasizing a certain muscle at a certain range of motion. The next technique we're going to look at is mechanical drop sets. So exactly like drop sets, except this time we're using our position as a way to make an exercise easier. So we're going to start here with a push-up. So I'll start with an elevated push-up. So I'll do this one as I regularly would. I'm trying to do as many reps as I can. So let's say I am approaching my last rep. I can barely do it. It's not coming up. I'm done. I'm going to rest maximum 10 seconds. And then right away I'm going to go back into position in a regular push-up. And then I'm going to keep going. I'm going to do as many of these reps as I can. And let's say I get to the point where that's as much as I can do. It's starting to get difficult. I can't come up. I'm going to rest maximum 10 seconds, and I'm going to go to an even easier version. We're going to go from the knees and then do the same thing nice and slow, as many as I can. So even though these two exercises are much easier than the first one, doing them with short rests right away after makes it very challenging for the muscles. The next technique we're going to look at is explosive reps. So for explosive reps, you can only pick a certain number of exercises to do it. And as the name entails, I'm trying to kind of explode with acceleration and project. So you need to project in order for this to be useful. So you can do it with push-ups, lunges, squats, that kind of thing. So we're going to take a look now at just a projection push-up. So just line up as usual. So I'm using all my force to accelerate my body, and all that energy is going into kind of hopping my body. All right, the next one we're going to look at is a deficit, but it's going to be an uneven deficit. So deficit just means that one arm is going to go a little bit, have to go a little bit further into the range of motion than the other one. So we can use the push-up with one hand on the med ball as a perfect example of that. So I'm going to line up in a push-up, but you'll see that the hand that's on the med ball is going way deeper into the range of motion, and that's going to challenge the muscle quite a bit more. This has been Richard for Fitness for Freedom, and I'm inviting you to press the like and subscribe button and then share it to everybody so that this video becomes viral for no reason.